Reject Nation, if there were a Hall of Fame for digital entertainment, I'd be its proud curator. Introducing you to the piece de resistance, G2A's Gate 2 Adventure. Believe me, it's the adventure terminal that even legends speak of. So what's G2A's secret sauce? Imagine a world where Netflix marathons, swiping right on Tinder, epic game showdowns, and even that Amazon shopping spree all converge. And hey, if you're thinking software, GTA's got that digital magic too. But wait, there's more. The prices are so slashed, they'd make a discount store blush. And the instant delivery, faster than a wink from yours truly. Now brace yourselves, because G2A is pulling all stops for their birthday bash. If you're basking in the USA sunshine, gaming laptops and an entire year of free games beckon you. It's almost as good as a day in my entourage. I definitely have friends. In summary, dive headfirst into G2A's Gate 2 Adventure, bask in digital glory, grab those deals, and remember, if it's on G2A, it's bound to be legendary. Much like some people we know. Wink, I definitely have a friend. Citizens of the Reject Nation, it's time for Loki Season 2, Episode 3 today. Jorge, how are you doing?
I'm ready for Mobius.
All right, Coy, hey, how you doing?
I'm low-key excited.
Loki? Oh, yeah, that's
Wow.
You really demonstrated that with your tenure there.
He did a Mobius pun. I felt pressure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Prune that like button. Or no,
Take it away.
Don't take it away. That'd be terrible. And subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified when a reaction for the next episode is up here on this channel. As always, full-length reaction watch-alongs where you sync up with your own copy of Loki, available for Super Sexy Rejects at our Patreon page. Thank you to all who have joined already, becoming Super Sexy Rejects. And over there, we cover several things exclusively with highlights and watch-alongs included. Let's explore the multiverse.
Containment doors are locked, and only the person who designed it can open it with a live scan of his temporal aura.
They're going to need to get Victor Timely for that.
Maybe Victor Timely isn't evil because he hasn't developed it yet.
I don't think he's going to be evil.
Think he's going to be a guy?
I think he's going to have good intentions. He's going to be like Miles Dyson.
I think you're right. This feels Victor Timely.
I mean, yeah.
Feels like it's from that era.
I hope he's playing. Jazzy good time.
Perfect rendition. I love it.
I never thought we'd hear this.
That's
Ragtime
cool.
Marvel
It's like,
theme.
Who's that guy who does the crop cheese or whatever?
Oh,
renditions?
Richard Cheese.
Richard
yeah.
Cheese.
This is delightful.
Yeah.
New ringtone.
Ragtime Marvel Suite. Here for it.
Is that Ravonna? Yep.
Where is she?
She?
Are you looking for you?
Miss
Oh,
Oh.
Madame Minutos.
What took you so long?
Seems so obvious.
What am I doing here?
Oh, don't get your britches in a stir.
That depth play with the stairs is great.
First things first, do you have it?
It always looks like she's standing on something.
Yeah, the depth of the stairs is so clever.
The MC Escherness of it all.
We need to put this package in that window. It was his plan, meant to protect all of time.
She's so much more sassy now.
He's dead.
What?
This was the plan he made when he knew the end was near for him.
Oh, man, he didn't want just utter chaos. He had a plan.
Okay,
Who would?
better.
Wow. Yep. Totally blending in.
Steamboat Miss Minutes.
When he's back where he belongs, you and I will be right by his side.
Polyamorous relationship.
Oh, my God.
A lot of hands on that clock.
Is that the young version of him?
Victor Childly.
Oh. What's in the book?
Hope this child knows how to read.
How common was reading in the 1860s? How literate were we as a
Did
country?
Audible exist yet?
Could I listen to this book? Nick Offerman narrated,
TVA
perhaps.
handbook? Yes, yes.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
So if the timeline works where if you learn something, you remember it, how much does throwing off the sacred timeline work if he's delivering knowledge that doesn't yet exist?
If we can't get in there and increase the diameter of the loom's intake ring, include that knot of unrefined time,
Wait a second.
In English, please?
we need to scale the loom's capacity to manage all those new branches.
Ah, thank God he spoke in English.
We can hack into the system.
Really? Oh, that is such a relief.
I'm wondering.
Tap into the mainframe, OB.
What about Miss Minutes? How are we gonna find a little rogue cartoon clock that doesn't want to be found?
Love these slow zooms are back. Whoa.
It's like a monster approaching.
We know Miss Minute sent information to Renslayer, and then we never saw her again.
The 2 hits we had on the tempad trace.
It's like a submarine movie, but in time.
Yeah, good call.
Let's focus on that cartoon clock.
They didn't call her a cartoon before.
Okay, we got a hit on the tempad going from right here, Chicago, 1868, to the same spot.
Shanghai noon.
I go that way, you go this way.
I mean, this isn't a pivot point in history.
Any major figure arises from here?
I like how he's got a green tie on.
Let's go to 1893.
Ramona, what are you up to?
I like how his mustache fits in this timeline very well.
A zoom and a track.
Cool.
What a transition.
That was beautiful.
Wait, this is the outfits they wore when they saw Victor Timely.
Edison. H.H. Holmes. Yes, hot air balloons.
H.H. Holmes.
Accomplished murderer.
If she has Miss Minutes there to help her, there's definitely a purpose for them going there earlier. We just got to figure it out.
They really hired all these extras.
Liberty Bell makes debut on 4th of July. Ghost Clock.
I love how Mobius is actually in costumes this time.
Let me see that.
The name's Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin.
It's just that Shanghai night.
I never got your name.
Name's Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin.
Miss Minutes is right there.
Ghost clock continues to haunt Midway.
Breadcrumb.
Exactly.
That's affecting the sacred timeline, though.
Yes, get a little Irish clothes.
Chinese pavilions.
Cool.
And also a brief detour for refreshments, yes.
Yeah, the Cracker Jack concession stand is a high traffic area. It was necessary and logical.
Can we get a move on? This is the sightseeing.
I'm not sightseeing. Listen, we have different styles.
He actually gets to explore this time.
I take a more slow, deliberate, cerebral approach because I see everything. I notice everything.
I love how Mobius is actually becoming Owen Wilson.
I know. All we need is an oh wow.
Wow.
Oh, man. Oh.
Does it make you a little
son.
homesick?
It's completely inaccurate.
Somebody feeling a little left out that they're not up there.
No. They might include Boulder. I've not even heard of him.
Nah, they got Boulder Brave.
You know, sometimes I forget that you're one of them. You are one of them.
One of us.
Blows my mind.
Paul's not that tall. Mobius, look.
Victor Timely.
Oh.
Temporal marvels.
Yeah, it probably must be really connecting to the Marvels, you think? It's the second time they brought that word up.
This is it.
Ooh, the game is afoot.
This feels like a Western showdown. What fun costumes and hair and makeup. Really brought this to life.
There she is.
It's so expensive.
It is fancy, yeah. They should have just CGI'd everyone.
I mean, yeah, the volume's right there.
Scan all those extras.
Is there not an AI they could use?
Oh my god!
The scene!
The scene!
Ooh.
Is that balloon? I think so.
Time. Everything. It moves through each and every one of us.
He's a showman.
It shapes our lives,
Love how he's in the shadows.
our futures.
Such Tom Hardy energy.
We can shape it.
It's him. Who? He remains.
Ladies and
Why? You made him sound like this terrifying figure. He is.
when I tell you that
That plays so much better here to me.
Yeah.
It really works.
Just what would you know about the future, boy?
Oh boy.
and the answer is more than you might think.
Good pause there.
Loki, look where we are. I mean, does he really look like he's about to conquer all of time?
Guys, trying to pay attention to the show.
Energy of the past, present, and future flows around us. Temporal loop. The electricity flowing through it, gathering it into fine threads of
Time.
power, which it then weaves.
Okay.
Ropes of voltage.
Interesting.
In English, please?
A chaos! A chaos transformed into order.
Nice.
Single bulb can light
Genius.
the whole of Chicago!
He's like the Tesla.
It's such a different performance, but so similar to
Yeah,
He
it's
Remains.
tethered.
It's
genius.
genius.
But the showmanship now makes a little bit more sense too.
I aim to power the entire planet! Call it a dream. Fine. Laugh it off as pure science fiction.
I love how this is always from the audience's seat where you're seeing him.
Yeah, our eye line.
All science is fiction until it's fact!
Gonna blind him with science. Wow.
Welcome to
Even Mobius is like, wow.
Wow, you're so dominant. We need to bring him back to the TVA.
Yeah.
You can't trust a variant of He Who Remains in the TVA.
That's a later problem. We have a very serious now problem.
They're doing it.
Yep, he just described how to solve it.
It's the only thing that can get us access to the loom. And who knows what else he can do?
Just cut off one of his hands and take it there.
I must have your temporal loom. Step aside, Hornswoggler. I was here first.
Oh.
$1,000.
Look.
I believe we have a deal.
Wowie. Don't get mugged.
That is the man who's destined to become He Who Remains? You sure your plan is gonna work?
The machine's not gonna turn on again.
God, man.
Hey! I assure you any physical contact was purely incidental.
Interesting.
How about we settle this outside?
Let's go, Lincoln.
I agree.
Wow.
The amazing Loki, everyone!
I need to talk with you about something.
Yes, my future! Do you mind if you walk and talk timely?
Oh my.
Excuse me.
Ugh.
My associate and I would love to tell you about a little business.
It's too late.
I beg your pardon, fellas.
You know who this is.
Do you all know each other?
Well, fortunately, an old friend.
Colleagues,
It was a long time
A
ago.
I
reunion.
can hardly remember.
Everyone's just touching him.
You're a confidence trickster.
Luminary is the word you're looking
Luminary,
for,
of course.
Yeah,
Forgive
yes.
me.
A disruptor.
Cool technology of this era to catch up with my visionary mind.
Do you know, I never doubted it for a second.
Enlightened fellows never do.
Your inventions are fake!
Oh no.
Excuse me.
Oh boy. Huckster time layout.
Oh, the pyramids. This is where it becomes ramen time.
There he is! Go on! Get him!
It's a hiding behind one little pole.
There's no escape from this carriage! Oh, Dark physics is a thief in here! He's over there!
Smart to do some of this in unbroken shots.
But, all right. You're clearly really good at getting away. We have that in common. Sylvie!
Oh, shit.
Ah.
You stay out of this.
Just wait.
But when is she from?
Remember she had the temp thing in the last episode?
Yeah, but I'm wondering, when, is this directly after that event?
We don't work together anymore, Mobius. I don't have to tell you anything.
And look, we're not working together's got you. You're a fugitive.
In all of time.
Oh, what is going on?
We need him. Without his help, the TVA will be destroyed.
Good. Let it burn.
Maybe this is all part of the plan. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm really paranoid.
Time variance authority.
I know there won't be a life to go back to. And we can't fix it without him.
I really do wonder if He Who Remains, this is part of his domino effect.
Yeah.
We need your help.
No, Mobius. There is no we. Not anymore.
For no time, never.
Imagine if this had come out before Ant-Man. Ugh. Temporarily not canon Ant-Man.
Oof.
Where do you think he got that book? If you and the TVA hadn't messed with him,
Oh, you're smart, Lucille. Oh, you're so smart.
Slayer set him on a path that he wasn't meant for.
you are waltzing him straight back into the TVA.
Damn, you figured that all out?
I didn't give him this book. I was shocked when I saw his face too. Maybe we should throw him off this Ferris wheel. But we need him.
It was just like a front. Ooh, I love this music.
You haven't got a clue, have you?
What a beautiful closed set, but of the time.
He may be our best hope of saving them.
or Miss Minutes.
This is all very familiar, isn't it? I can't let him live.
Kill him right after he fixes the
God,
machine.
I might be on Sylvie's side on this one. Oh my God.
Whoa.
I feel like Sylvie's right.
But everyone dies.
I really feel like this is all part of He Who Remains' big plan.
This is your moment.
Miss Moments.
Oh!
Wow. Boo.
Stay Puffed Minutes.
This way.
So many questions.
Wow.
Wow.
Tandem bicycle.
Absolutely not.
Adorable.
Come on.
We need it.
It's almost a jet ski.
You'll love this.
Make yourself comfortable.
This is where she falls in love with him.
So cool. Aw.
Oh my God, she is charmed by him already.
Yeah, it's working.
Button here controls the temperature through the cushion.
It's got a butt warmer.
Oh, and
A butt chiller.
He invented the sharper image.
So, did you like my performance back there?
Ooh.
marvelous. A bit creepy.
Thank you.
Marvelous.
Miss Minutes.
Excusez-moi, Mademoiselle Minutes.
So odd.
Absolutely singular.
Why, thank you. You're pretty singular yourself. At least, you will be.
Are you saying I created the TVA?
I know this must be overwhelming.
I'm going to be rich.
It's like the story of myself. Always imagined is true.
Did you hear the murder part? That is why you need me by your side.
Such intimacy.
I'll keep you safe.
Even before the TVA, or her, you created me, and we worked together at the end of time. I know what a great man you can become.
Miss Minutes love him too.
I think so. Weirdest love triangle ever.
Our loom, it's in trouble.
That is not dissimilar to what the wizard gentleman said to me on the Ferris wheel. Oh, why aren't the two of you in cahoots with him and his butler? Time to go.
In a timely fashion.
I do think Jonathan Majors' childish wonder to all this is really interesting stuff for Victor Timely. And his scene work with Dravone is really good too.
He's mine! Rat bags!
Oh.
Take him! He's all yours!
They're having so much fun with the music.
Anything? Nothing. Okay, I'll have B-15 run a trace. This way.
Go.
Stranger, weirder season and shot so much darker.
I love that he has like a panic room.
I do like this reintroduction of Victor Timely of a good-intentioned man. Like, he's not cunning or evil. I mean, you see
He's
the con man
mischievous.
side, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not villainous.
What's this latest work of yours that's so important?
She's playing as the moonlight.
Beautiful.
Key to understanding and manipulating time. Everything I've ever imagined.
Or that were imagined for me.
She seems so enamored by him.
It was delivered to me when I was a child.
She might have loved the concept of him before and then met him.
Or maybe an older version of herself is getting some nostalgia, subconscious feeling.
I've never found out who.
You.
I brought it to you.
You brought it to him the way the postman brings the post. We both know whose plan it was.
Yeah.
Well, whoever it was, I thank you.
And I hope they remain that I may thank them too.
I like to think of it as a correspondence between myself and the visionary author.
Yeah.
I always knew my ideas were good. Didn't have the technology to make them really work.
I'm rooting for you, man.
I know.
That's how you make Kang captivating. You have variants that like
Make him
Yeah,
Show
man,
this
many different ways.
humanity, the multiple facets.
Thank you.
And what an actor's dream to get to play so many versions.
And to continue to do so indefinitely.
I'm starting to see the man you'll become.
Grab it. Yes.
Appreciate that.
This menace looks so peeved.
I have high hopes for this partnership.
I could rule together.
Ooh.
He doesn't want
Doesn't
a
like
partnership.
that word.
He doesn't like
Said
partners.
it earlier.
It was all good till you said that shit.
Get on my boat. Whoa, yeah.
Whoa, that was a sweet shot.
Nicely done.
Oh, wow.
You heard her, Victor. Partnership. You had to do it.
Oh.
Bye.
Mischief.
And there's that villainous side. Wow. What an impulsive decision.
Rovona.
That's so messed up.
It really is.
It's like, dude, just once, come on. All that, find out you are who you are because she dropped off the book to you. And you're just like, should have said that word.
Nope.
Don't like
Not
partners.
my partner.
Does capture that ego and stubbornness, though.
I have a seat float.
A float.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah, you can already see like the sketch of the TVA in here.
Look at all your amazing work. I'm so happy to be here.
Really laying on the sultry tone.
Just wonderful.
Yes.
You have always been so smart, Victor.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Devious.
Now, what's the rush?
Tara's having so much fun with this.
It might be smart to lay low for a while. We made quite the ruckus back there.
What is
she trying to seduce him?
Feels like it.
I was worried that you wouldn't come with me, that you liked Ravona better than me.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Is there a sketch of me in that journal of yours?
Draw me like one of your French girls.
When you first created me, I was just a simple AI, just something to play chess with.
I love that they're doing this.
I could be more for you. So you gave me autonomy to write my own programming.
Disney's her.
I was allowed to have wants and follow whims and become who I am.
You're the creator.
Each night we played chess and talked.
A loyal friend.
More than friends.
Oh.
There was one whim you never allowed me.
Pleasure.
Why didn't you allow me a real body?
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
If I had a body, we could truly lead together.
Oh, my God.
No partnership.
Like the evil version of Vision.
I don't know how to do.
You never even tried.
Just standing amidst a bunch of mannequin bodies.
It's like Bride of Frankenstein wanting to become the bride.
Yeah.
Instead of what I could have been, your girl.
Yikes.
Yes,
I love
ma'am.
this so much.
So glad they're doing this.
Put that down. Don't do this. We're a team. You need me. I love you.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's like some weird Black Mirror shit.
Yeah.
They better do it.
Lover's tiff.
Oh.
Thank God.
Yeah, buddy.
Things are getting quite strange.
You gonna prune my dude.
Oh my God, the early days of pruning.
I was entrusted with this mission by He Who Remains, not his variant. I'm the one in charge.
I am the captain now.
Ms. Renslayer.
Phone, what are you doing? I mean, is this the free will that you were looking for?
That is what she said at the end of the last episode, or last season.
I'm not lecturing, I'm pleading.
After all those years of doing your dirty work,
This guy's always caught in a hostage situation.
He just met all these people.
We've all lost our way, but someone has to keep track of the big picture here.
Loki holding power.
I'm the only one who can bring stability to the TVA because that's what I've been doing, thanklessly, for eons.
Wow, you are dry way too strong of a correlation.
Order versus chaos.
Well,
I'm order.
Is she gonna brood him?
let's get fascist.
Oh.
I'm chaos. Wow, this is like a Terminator 2 situation.
Yeah.
It is like Miles Dyson.
Yeah.
She's like Sarah Connor.
Just hunting him through time.
I haven't done anything.
No, you will.
You will. That isn't me. You don't know me. You don't know the heart I have beating in my chest.
Jesus, this is compelling.
I can make my own choices.
Branch the time.
Technically can, yeah.
I'm not the man you think I am.
Free will, fate, her whole thing.
Get him out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, they're bringing him to the TVA. This is crazy. What a crazy plot turn.
God.
I mean, that's what I thought would happen, but still,
But still,
cool.
it's intense.
It's cool. It's happening. Yeah.
Don't make me regret this.
We'll do our best.
And you.
Leave her to me.
Yeah.
Fight. Fight. Fight.
I suppose I've been a box you've been wanting to tick for a long time.
Oof.
Oh, that's painful.
I've killed you 1,000 times. In my mind, each time more brutal than the last. It's crippling, that kind of obsession.
Have you called in sick to McDonald's?
You're gonna get fired.
You were working the next day. You said so.
It's power for you, isn't it? Be careful what you wish for.
Oh, we stumbled through the void. Oh, damn.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh my
That's
God.
Cool. How bleak.
Together forever.
That's great form of punishment right there.
Wow.
Get to be with your bae, away from that conniving clock.
That is great. How poetic. Oh. Love it.
Love you. Darn.
Darn.
Foolish of him to make an enemy out of someone who knows all his secrets. Really big one about you.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you, but
Who's watching this?
it's gonna make you real angry.
No. No.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, to listen to this on Apple and Spotify, we just watched Loki Season 2, Episode 3. Be sure to rate this. We will talk about it. But before we do, thank you to everyone who has been to www.rejectnationshop.com. We're all wearing shirts available at that store right now. Coy's got a real Rejects tee on. I got
Kang
a
purple.
Watchmen inspired Who Influences the Influencers. John's got the Citizen Kang one on. And we got a whole bunch of other tees as well. It is an amazing, immaculate way to support the channel. Show you're a citizen of the Reject Nation in the most proper way. Look good while doing it. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot for everyone who's picked up a tee. Really, because we're creatively involved in it, so it means a lot. Anyway, who rated it first last time? Coy, what would you rate this?
I'm gonna go, since I know we use decimals now, 8.9.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this an 11.1.
All right.
Loved it.
I'd actually meet you at exactly an 8.9.
Do you see?
Yeah. All right, Coy, you can go first.
Okay. I feel like this was what I wanted the second episode to be. I also feel like this is exactly what I wanted Kang to be. I'm a little. I'm kind of struggling with Ant-Man existing in my head right now because I know it'll
ants.
I like ants. But I know it's gonna upset people that enjoy Ant-Man, and you please enjoy what you enjoy.
That defense is all over Twitter now.
All people are like Ant-Man faux life.
Dude,
No,
you
but
guys don't get it. That's what it is. It's full of that.
He didn't actually get taken out by ants.
Don't you see he fought Scott?
He was weakened by. But a man that is the conqueror of time was even affected by ants. Oh, so we didn't get killed. Affected by ants.
Ants who advanced their civilization thousands of years off screen.
Off screen, I like ants. Okay, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids should not have as much Venn diagram of taking out Kang as anyway. I think that in my headcanon, the Ant-Man timeline has been pruned, and this is now what follows Loki Season 1 in any way of having Kang. The beauty of Kang is it is the actor's dream role. It is a villain that is the visual representation of duplicitous. It is someone whose duality is every bit of the character as well as time. It is the use of time and space. It is the use of an actor playing someone with that much multiversal and internal conflict. And I think that Jonathan Majors is one of the great actors of our time, and there was definitely some Bronson Tom Hardy that I enjoyed in that stage performance. But he played He Who Remains in a similar way to Victor Timely that was completely theatrical, but in a time period it worked. And then Kang was differently theatrical, but in a somber way because he was a Kang that had been trapped. And those three performances are just the beginning of what Kang can be and shape out. Personally, I didn't love the writing of how they had Kang, but I did enjoy what Majors brought to the performance of the now not headcanon Ant-Man movie. I do think, however, this delivery allows for there to be the Kang Dynasty's impact of having a series of Kangs that you can feel for against and for, because now that Kang can do horrible things, and we've met Victor Timely, who does have that childlike wonder and innocence, who does have that impact of someone you can see what they just wanted to do, but still can do evil things like just disavow someone who literally caused their success. Someone that is able to be Tesla, but also Edison. So I loved that element, but I did struggle a little bit with the reason it's not a 9 or higher is the tone. There were moments that felt a bit Disneyfied. There were moments that were like, let's make sure this is also hijinksy fun because of the dark tone. There were a couple moments that did feel like it was a borderline slapstick that, if this was a slapstick show, would have fit. But there's a difference between mischievous and playful, which I think that both Hiddleston, Wilson, and Majors do well. But then you have the directing and the editing, like have like a and like it almost got to like where I was expecting them to run in circles and play like old British music. Like it got a little much.
Benny Hill in there.
Yeah, thank you. That was what I was looking for. It didn't quite mesh with the rest, so it can't be a 9 because that's approaching perfect. But all the story advancements, all the exposition, all the performances, all the delivery, all of the fixes that I had issues with episode 2 were here. I just had some tone stuff.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, because I think the intention is very clear of wanting to emulate period pieces, older, like so much of, as compared to season 1, there's a lot of cinematic influences of other eras in this season. And I think the choice and the intention is very obvious that they wanted to emulate kind of what, those old timey kind of humorous angles would happen and with that kind of quirkiness and stuff. And intent is one thing, and overall execution is another.
Hunt for Red October worked. That didn't. Like, you know what I mean? That scene felt like a sub movie, but we didn't go, oh, that's distracting. Like, this was a little much.
Yeah, I understand what they were going for with that whimsy, but at times, just for my taste, it wasn't quite meshing for me either. It didn't quite tickle me in the way I think it wanted to.
But damn, a B minus, B plus, A minus. Like I want the positives to shine because I agree, and I think this was a leap back from episode 1. Like 1 was like that 9/8, 2 dropped for me. This is back.
Yeah, and I love what they're doing because when you first say that Kang is going to be your big baddie for going into the next couple phases of Marvel, you kind of have this preconceived idea of just another big threat.
Yeah.
Big threat. And you're starting to get a better impression of what it is, of watching the creation of something. Like I like the tangibility of hope that, maybe there's a way we can prevent it.
Yeah. What if free will?
Like, you're having that moment with Victor Timely at the end. I'm like, that's not like, this is he's not Nathaniel Richards, but he is the Kang of the sacred timeline. Like maybe there's a hope here of maybe we can use this guy maybe to fight the other versions,
Yeah.
Like maybe there's a chance we could learn from him. Maybe he won't turn bad, but you really don't know. You really don't know, because at the end of the day, like that's why I love the decision that they made where he does drop Ravonna into the water, because you're like, but there's a bad guy in him.
Yeah.
There's still a narcissist in this dude. There's still a villainy within him. Like, can we trust him? And that's that paranoia that I love, because they set up at the very beginning too, Miss Minute saying that there's this I don't forget exactly, essentially there's like a contingency plan that if he who remains were to die, here's what he would want to happen, which is again the guileness of the deceit of he who remains, where he presented to Loki and Sylvie that kill me, you can rule this at all could be chaos, or but he had a plan in mind the whole time in case. So I'm like, are we just watching his plan play out right now? Like,
If he hadn't been killed, would he have gotten on the sacred timeline? That book, like that element.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. It's like he's still playing some domino effect in a way of possibly conjuring up some resurrection of himself.
Yeah,
and I think it's brilliant. It's because you just don't know. You have no idea, and even though some of that quirkiness of what they were attempting to emulate was not really jiving with me, I love when they do decide to go stranger with it. Like everything with Miss Minutes, her weird obsession with wanting to become like human anatomy. Man. I love it. Absolutely love it because it is uncomfortable. It's sexual in a way without being
it's
R-rated.
Not graphic, but it's still like strange and unsettling.
Yeah, because she wants him.
Tara Strong killing it too. Yeah, like that performance was all her.
I love it. I love it so much.
Sexy disembodied clock.
Yeah, I think that's great. I do have, and I love like Loki and Mobius, them bonding together. Everything that like, I love the different shades we're getting of Mobius.
We didn't get the bike. I wanted the bike.
The tenna bike.
Sorry.
End of the season.
And again, the set pieces are absolutely awesome. And Ravonna, I think like what's like you're talking about like duality of things with Ravonna and Mobius. Oh man, that ended with Ravonna. So much happened in this episode. With like. Ravonna obviously doesn't want everything to collapse either. She doesn't want the existence to come to an end. So there is paths that they have, goals that they have that are similar, but yet so different at the same time. And I think my one thing that I am wondering about the show, if it's going to bother me, this might sound odd. It's Loki. Loki kind of just seems like a TVA agent with superpowers now.
I think that's why they give him powers, is like, give him stuff to do.
And I'm missing a little bit of his personality.
Of his personal journey.
That might have also why they let the Brad scene play out.
The personal journey, the personality, it's some of that is not seeming as much of a... It's called Loki at the end of the day.
Yeah.
and at the same time, like, I get he went through a character arc. But there does seem to be something like Tom Hiddleston. It's weird. It's the complexity of, I think Tom Hiddleston's killing it
and anchors
with what he's giving. Yeah, but it is just so straightforward with him, and I am missing. I'm kind of like everyone else is like seems like they're getting such great development, which is awesome. Like I love that. I just wish it was also in conjunction with Loki.
I feel like the season 2s are often that, right? Where at season 1 you have your character, season 2 you build the supporting, but then at the end of season 2, but nothing's perfect. But then at the end of season 2, you see the arc that's been the slow burn, like the bear, right? Have you seen the bear?
No.
Okay, well the bear's a great example.
I've seen Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Those, you
and
can't.
Dexter.
Excuse me for Citizen Kane over here. I'm sorry, Goodfellas and The Godfather were taken.
There are shows.
But I'm saying
definitely keep the main character.
You would
should
really
also watch
appreciate
The
that
Bear.
show. You would very much enjoy it.
It's
As
genius.
a creative person of all stripes, you would love it.
And that does it. John knows what I'm saying. The second season, how they do that thing where the whole rest of the cast you think is rising, and then at the end you realize that their rising has caused the shift in the lead.
Yeah.
And you go, the end of the second season was about all of them, not just the support. So they do that. I just rewatched it. That's why that's in my mind. But I think the show was going to do that where Tom Hiddleston's arc is going to really shine episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Okay. That's my hope. Because right now it has just been very that is the one thing that is like kind of missing for me.
Well, he hasn't not been there. Like the scene in the pie place, we talked about the reversal. We talked about like the scene with Brad. Like there have been elements, but I do see where we're talking about everyone but him. You're not wrong.
Yeah, we're not talking about yeah.
And like it's Tom Hiddleston, he's a force. Like it's not him, it's just what everyone else is also having to do.
Yeah. Everyone else has the much more interesting stuff happen, and he's just kind of the plot device to keep things going along.
Yeah.
And that is that's something that I am correct. But sorry, John, I kind of just derailed this.
No, it's okay. I mean, your points. My original rating was 11.1, and you said that.
I think we may have tempered
that brought me down to like a 10.8, and then what you just said brought me down to like a 10.2. So like,
okay.
I mean, yeah, no, everything you guys are saying, I at least I'm not affected the same way by all these things, but I do acknowledge that they're there. Like, yeah, especially in the middle of the episode with all the different guys chasing Timely around who've all been bamboozled. Like, it's very of the time, but it is like an interlude you don't necessarily need, but that adds, just like extra kind of chaos to everything. I was fine with that, but yeah, I get why maybe that would be something where you're like, can we get back to the point?
Because just turn the music down.
Yeah, sure. and with Loki, certainly this is the episode where of the three it feels the least centered around his actual character so much as, there's more interesting stuff for the supporting cast to do, learn, experience, etc. So in light of that, I would put the first episode at the top because it's all these things. It's the weird, it's the intrigue, it's low-key. And then the second episode I would rank third so far because it's still like low-key and it's still about the relationships and his tension with Sylvie and all that. And this is very much like a functional episode for him. But what I thought this really did nicely was like, I forgot about time while I was watching this. This felt like a substantial little movie of an episode, and I thought it really well committed to its time and place and used it richly. Whereas last episode I was like, it feels like some of these things could have been utilized and explored more richly. This is like, no, we did our 19th century Chicago episode.
They understood the importance of this episode.
Yeah. That's a great point. I didn't feel like we cared about the 80s, and that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Like an 80s actor episode, and then an 1800 Chicago episode. You're right. The setting here was great.
Yeah, and it's like it uses this sort of World's Fair aesthetic, and it uses the Tesla, Edison, like all those trappings that are fun and are of the time, the genre, the place, are really well utilized here, and everything kind of seemed to serve some level of purpose. And so even having all those hijinks, I was like, well, that's adding at least to a chase that's already ensuing between all the main characters too. And yeah, I love that they decided and found time and means within an episode like this that is, again, getting back to the main villain. They just found time for so many great debates and questions, and that's not something I'm as used to in a Marvel. And that I thought was lovely here because obviously the most rich one is... I loved Sylvie facing down with him, sword to his neck, and him being like, I haven't made these choices, like throwing her argument back at her. And I thought this episode was a great sort of catapulting of different arguments back and forth. You've got Ravonna and Mobius kind of going in a similar direction, but for entirely different motivations. And I thought that was really tangible and lovely. And like her presence, I thought, even though she is, amidst all this chaos, I think it's Gugu and Bathara, right? Like she's got a lovely presence even still, and I'm still interested in seeing her and how that continues, and even what her weird relationship with Miss Minutes is now that Miss Minutes clearly has her own motivation. And that was a thing where I'm like, we don't have to do this, and it's Disney, it's kind of a weird thing to be doing, but I'm glad we're doing it because it's all part of the possibility of this strange little world. And yeah, I thought this was a well-proportioned episode, and I thought it did all the things I love from sci-fi kind of in one big pot. It's got sci-fi fun and games, but it's got a lot of like weird, uncomfortable situations that now we get to think about because of these extraneous circumstances. And it's also got the personal stuff, the heft of the journey for somebody like Sylvie, but also like the real question of like, yeah, it seems like we're backed into a corner where the only solution is either bring Victor Timely back or somehow strong-arm Miss Minutes into doing this. And so either way, we're in kind of a bad position here. So, we got to choose the lesser of two evils. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought all of that was really efficacious and really, easy to get swept up in. And yeah, it was fun and games, but also like nice and cerebral and odd and emotional too. So
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to a 9. You tipped me up 1. That point 1. I'm at a 9.0 now because of the setting point. That's a really good point. So yeah, I think this was exceptional. Like it's not quite the near perfect I thought the first was, but this was really good. Like this feels like what I wanted Loki season 2 to be when season 1 ended. Like this, using time, using space, using Kang, building out phase. I would have thought of this as phase 4 before they, I think, early ended phase 4. But this phase 4 time and space continuum situation, and it does feel like it's going to lead nicely to what I assume Deadpool 3 and Kang Dynasty are.
Ravonna was in that recording in that first episode. Ravonna sounded like they were partners at one point.
Yes.
And is that what Miss Minutes was going to convey?
Oh, that's a good point.
That you guys.
This does happen.
You've already gotten what you wanted in the past or something, or in a different scenario.
What is that
And
mystery?
then, because it seems like they were partners, and then he had the whole thing of like, never mind, I'm gonna wipe your memory. Now you're just the main judge. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. 'Cause that would piss her off. Like, hey, you had power, and then it was taken from you. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we've already lived this.
I think they're gonna do at least.
We've lived this,
You're
and
in
you
a loop.
lost.
Yeah.
Because she is in a loop of bringing him back to TVA already. If there's a double loop of like everything you fight for is for naught.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, and dropping her off with like his decomposing
Oh
body.
man, that was dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for my money, this is still the best show. Like, seeing Loki as a whole, like this is.
You know what I just realized too of why I think some of that quirkiness didn't work for us? Because the show did not change how fucking dark it is.
That's like physically,
like how physically
it's lit
dark
like 1800 lights, and I was like, it's so tiny.
It's still like shot with this like super dark cinematography.
I was looking for like H.H. Holmes in the background. Like, are they gonna do a murder in the background at the fair?
Are we gonna go to the murder hotel?
Is the hotel in the factory?
So it didn't quite complement the
I did love it in
visual
the
aesthetic
the
that we were
fanfare I
getting.
loved.
Took us till the very end of this to get there, but I think that's what clicked for me.
The fanfare I loved it. I couldn't place why I loved it. You're right. It was
I've been
bright.
working till like 3 or 4 in the morning every day this week, guys. So like, I have a very delayed train of thought on everything.
It's okay, we got
but
there.
yeah, that is the.
That I think you're right, because the fanfare I loved it. I was like, this is perfect.
I was
And
like,
then at
there's
the end I was like,
something
I
not
don't like
quite
this.
magic here, yeah, and that's what it was.
I wanted to see the magic.
Yeah.
That's
It felt
just
like we were at
imagine the magic.
Disneylander World on a set, and they were playing that music, and I was like, I'm uncomfortable. Like, it just felt like Disney was telling me how to feel.
Yeah.
But
Well,
man,
we're
like
here on the
a
back
9,
lot.
man, a 9.
Yeah, man. But yeah, guys, look.
Look. Listen.
Everyone's got opinions. I'm sticking with my 8.9.
We're all on a very similar page.
I think there's just some. I do think that at times the pacing of this, like from the second episode to this one, there are some just off things I think about its pacing that it can just like. I don't know how to describe it, and honestly, I gotta level with you guys. I don't often like using this as some excuse. I have been very sleep deprived all week, and I do think that sometimes I can affect like the way I intake a certain kind of oddity with the way something is paced. I'm not using that as an excuse to be like, actually, it's great. It's just me. It could be the show itself. I don't know. It's all subjective at the end of the day. Can
I levy a conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
What if maybe this was intended to be like episode 2, and then all this shit went down, and they were like, let's wait till later in the
like
season to get to Jonathan Majors. Let's cram something else in there first.
Let's put more Rafa in there, because it did feel like 2 was like extended and put in a spot.
Yeah, it felt like extended and truncated, and kind of like it could have fit elsewhere.
And everything they're saying about Loki. I'm in the tired defend your negative criticism thing, even though I'm like mainly super positive.
Greg, an 8.9 is like a 2.
Why isn't this an 11.1
I
for you?
I'm in that weird loop in my own head.
You pre-read the comments?
When you work so much on a video, you see like a couple of negative comments. And
It's the Greg who remains from the future past.
You've been killing these cuts,
It's the Loki, I think everything they've presented about him is just repetitive from what they've already done in season 1. Like, even everything Brian was saying to him in the second episode, I'm like, we've already done this.
You were a bad guy.
And the same thing with like the little tidbits here where Ravona's like, you can't trust that guy. And I'm like, that's not really part of the character arc. But at the same time, I think there's just like, we need something new with
You guys
Loki.
know how tired Greg is? He just confidently called Raphael Cassell Brian when his name is Brad, but you said it with such fervor. You're like, what name Brian we're talking?
It's not Brian?
Nope.
All right,
Definitely Brad. Hey, you're tired. But like that proves the tiredness of this man. He was like, Brian.
You forgot a white guy name.
He's just like,
I've been
Brian.
trying to hide my tiredness all week until like the last 5 minutes of this video.
I really enjoy that on a time travel show. Future Greg is like, I don't want to read those comments. So if past Greg has to say some stuff to subvert those comments, I'm going to read it in the edit later.
Those people already typed those comments and turn off the video before they even heard
I
of it.
think they have them in a note. They just copy and paste once the video posts. They don't watch the video.
They've got their comments planned out for the whole season.
They just mad lib. They just mad lib insults. And they're like, we're gonna put it in here. And there's that one guy that's like, get Coy off the channel, and he just saves them and puts in different adjectives.
Oh my god, I saw the
love that guy.
funniest comment about you.
Which
one?
one?
Oh my god, it's my favorite comment. I think it was on a Gen V one. Oh no. Which was Coy's the kind of guy who claps when the plane lands.
That is so funny. I like that so much.
You're clapping a lot.
I'm a clapper. I fly too much for that. I'm very
We
bemused.
should all be clapping when a plane lands.
Yeah.
It's magic.
It's a miracle that we survived.
Magic. We just hurtled in a tube through the sky.
We just hope we land, okay? He's the guy that clap when a plane lands. Actually, that does serve the way I see the world. We're getting all of this. It's a gift. So, yeah, I'm a clap. I'm happy we're here.
Statistically, it's still the safest way to travel.
It is statistically.
Superman.
Guys, when I take off my seatbelt, I clap too because I made it there. I got there in the
When
car.
I stopped
the
the
dangerous
car.
way to travel. I'm just like, yeah,
when I
me.
dismount my bicycle, I
You guys
clap
better.
for myself.
I get off my longboard. I'm like, done did it.
Anytime
Here we
I'm
are.
roller skating, skateboarding, any
Cross
of
a
that.
major intersection.
Those
Frog.
Lime
Done did it.
scooter. I'm clapping on
Guys.
the Lime scooter.
You should see me read a book every flip. Man, someone wrote that. I really enjoyed that page.
All righty, guys. Well, thank you
DMV
for being
line
here.
ends.
Everyone claps when that happens.
That's true.
Anyway, we should
We're
clap
clapping for you.
when we get to the end of the video.
See you guys. Page for the day shout out. All right, guys. Well, we got to catch up on some shout outs here because there's only so many days left in the month. So we got to shout out 2 patrons, and we have discovered that artificial intelligence ChatGPT is a brilliant writer in its own mind. So we wanted to bring to life the fantasy of 2 patrons that we know if they met each other in person, what it might go down like during this spooky season time.
Definitely.
So, John, please pick a couple names. Who do you got? Who do we
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Who have we got in a know?
Let's do Mikhail Linden.
Okay.
And let's do Chris Wamoff.
All right. It's Kale Linden and Chris Wamoff.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Perfect. All righty. Okay.
We
All
got
right.
this. We're
I
good.
got this. So I'm going to say, I need you to create a scene of 2 characters. Just want the dialogue. A stick or a comedy attire, if you will. Here's their personalities and have them meeting each other or catching up while bumping into one another during trick-or-treating. But let's spice it up. Really make it intense and something out of a horror movie. But make sure to incorporate all these things that I'm going to list about their personality traits.
Yes, of course. Got to be comprehensive.
Okay, all right. So, Chris Wamoff,
Chris
how would
Wamoff.
you describe
He's
him?
a selfless individual.
Selfless individual, or just some facts about him. He's been arrested for fighting the good fight.
Yes. He makes good trouble. He's to be found at a protest sticking up for the little man.
Likely to be found at a protest sticking up for the little man.
He's a charitable guy.
Charitable individual.
Also a bit of a movie geek as well.
You'd hope so, being here.
Being here, it's just like a de facto
movie
character
geek.
type.
Lives in the Midwest, I think.
Sure.
Right?
For this story, you live in the Midwest.
Lives in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And what are just the things we imagine about him that maybe we don't know for sure?
Okay, like
I think he's a fast runner.
He's a fast runner. Slow reader.
Slow reader.
Real ladies
has
man.
trouble sleeping. Gets ladies like nobody's business.
Yes.
All right. I love it, John. I love it. Okay. Now, Mikhail Linden.
Mikhail Linden. Yeah.
All right. Obviously from Sweden.
Swedish.
Obvious. I'm going to write down 4 of them. Obviously from Sweden.
Yes, absolutely.
Loves James Bond movies. It's really the only 2 things we know about the guy. We've been milking that for years.
He's a classy guy.
Classy guy. I would say like major bookworm.
Major book, yeah. Definitely.
Super into science.
Yes.
Thought Robert Oppenheimer was correct.
Sure. Just about all of it.
Just yeah.
About everything.
Considered voting for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
These are things that I just imagine about you, Mikhail.
Totally.
Even though he couldn't legally because he's in Sweden.
He has a drag alter ego, yeah.
Drag alter ego. Consider Thanos was right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he sides with villains.
Secretly watches every Mel Gibson movie after post his arrest.
Yes, only that period of Mel, and he's a big Ezra Miller fan as well.
A big Ezra Miller fan, and often quotes and recites the Christian Bale rant when out of words in an argument.
Make sure you include the word rant there so it knows where to source this gold from.
Christian Bale, Terminator Salvation, on-set rant. All right, let's see how good of it's. Watch, guys. We're about to see magic happen.
The future is here.
All right, let's see what it generates.
Okay, here we go. Oh, my goodness. Setting. Oh, it's really thinking about this one. A desolate Midwestern street. The last rays of sunlight disappearing. The thick fog rolling in obscures vision, making the evening even more eerie. The occasional hoot of an owl or rustling of leaves is all that breaks the silence. The scene is set for a chilling Halloween night.
I'll be Chris.
All right.
Suddenly bump into a tall figure, catching his breath. Damn, sorry, man. This fog's no joke. You all right?
Adjusting his collar with a slight Swedish accent.
Just do a British accent.
I'm fine. You should watch where you're going. But then again, I was lost in... I'm going to try it. I'm fine. You should watch where you're going. But then again, I was lost in thought about Oppenheimer's contribution to science. A tragic genius, that one.
Huh? I'm more into fighting for the here and now, like sticking up for the little guy. Genius. Replacing everyone. This is what the writers drink vodka.
Definitely.
Protests, rallies, that sort of thing.
A man of action. But even in action, one must know when to speak and when to listen. Even every Christian Bale's rant on set of Terminator Salvation. That's me when I'm at a loss for words.
I can't say I've heard it. I'm more of a movie geek, so I'm not likely to hear this Christian Bale rant.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with movies. So less so in the celebrity drama. But sounds intense.
Oh, it is. Much like the intensity of James Bond's missions. Are you a fan? I've always been drawn to his world.
I've seen a few, but hey, if you want intensity, try running at top speed through the Midwest fields. The wind in your face and the thrill of freedom in your chest.
Oh, running away or running towards something?
Sometimes I don't even know. Sleep doesn't come easy to me.
The burden of a restless mind. I often find solace in books, but even then, sometimes my thoughts wander, like considering the perspective of someone like Thanos.
Sounds heavy. Thanos, huh? Can't say I agree with him, but hey, we all have all our controversial opinions. I mean, I get quite some attention from the ladies, but it doesn't make me any more understood.
The age-old struggle. I myself considered voting for Trump once, but let's not delve into politics. Instead, tell me, are you familiar with Ezra Miller's work?
I can't say I've seen a lot, but Mel Gibson, oh, that's a name. Been secretly catching up on his stuff post-arrest.
Secrets on Halloween? How fitting. And speaking of secrets, let's just say that in some circles, I'm not always known as Mikhail.
Sounds mysterious, but hey, we all have our secrets. So it makes the night like this even more intriguing.
The two men, with their differing views and mysterious auras, continue down the foggy street, the atmosphere charged with the weight of their conversation and the unknown horrors of Halloween night.
Look, these shout-outs might take way longer to do.
Oh, but
the time
exponentially
flies
more
by.
fun. Yes, it is worth every second. This was ripped out of real life.
Wow. We have every right to fear and put precautions in place.
Yeah, now is the time.
Because I could see a screenwriter taking this material and adapting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's drawing from everywhere across the internet. How can you beat that? Plus with directions as clear as these and everything. Like, it's going to be spitting out scripts in no time.
Shout out for Mikhail and Chris.
Love you guys.